It's that time. An author.
Offensive production, number 1. Number 2, I forgot.
Golfer.
It'd be like going on a 3-person best shot, and we were saying, Kolpack, you got to make a 25-footer every time. You wouldn't putt first. I'd have Tim putt first.
And one heck of a TV personality.
This game is for the Cooper Cup.
It's the Forum's Jeff Kolpack.
4! I should have yelled 2.
Here's Jeff Kolpack. His appearances are brought to us by Northwestern Mutual on a Monday morning. What do you got going on the next few weeks? Huh?
Oh,
Your schedule opened up?
a little bit.
Mine did.
A little bit. I think the word, and talking to like a friend of mine in Nashville who puts on the watch parties, disbelief. I think there's a disbelief out there.
Were they smashing things there because they know the Bison aren't coming now? Yeah, there's a lot
they would
of
be in
that.
Frisco for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of heads shaking this morning. There's a bunch of emails, which we're going to get to here throughout the course of your segment. But just now, it's been 36 hours. Give me a couple thoughts on what transpired in your mind on Saturday.
It was probably one of the more subpar offensive line performances I've seen in a long time from this program. I think the old coordinator didn't have his best day either. Cole, was he hurt? I mean, the run game was non-existent. And some of the just like the 3rd and 4 late in the game, a 5-step drop.
Yep.
I didn't get that either. When they were getting pressured all day, that was never really there.
Yep. On a 3rd and 7, the swing to Owen Johnson,
his first touch of the game.
That?
Yeah,
that to me was curious at best on what went down.
How about the end of the first half when they threw the bomb to Bryce Lance, and then instead of just kneeling the ball, I mean, what were they on, a 10 or 12?
Yeah, they're at their own. Maybe deeper. It might have been their own 7 or 8 yard line. It was deep in their own territory.
And then, they took a heave to Lance, and then had to punt the ball because
they didn't run the clock out. That was bizarre as well. There are a lot of things on this. To me, they had 5 interceptions. They had a punt return touchdown and lost the football game.
Yeah, you file this away, and you and I have been doing this a long time, and if you do it a long time, you'll eventually see a lot of stuff, and this was 5 and 2. One was a pick six, one nearly a pick six, and resulted in a 4-yard touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, and you lose.
I know it. We haven't even shown the Bison big plays. Let's do that here because, honestly, the way that they played defensively, and people say, well, you scored 28 points, you should win. Well, the offense only generated 14 of those, and one was a big play. The other was a 4-yard touchdown. In between, they did nothing.
Nothing, nothing. Just
defensively, they look at it here.
Bounce, left-hander.
So, they go out here, and you look at this is the first play of the game, and think Bryce Lance is gone. I'm looking at you and Mike thinking, all right, here we go. Same old second round. Bison are going to hammer him away. And that was the last we saw of Bryce Lance during the game. You can't say enough, honestly, of what the Bison defense did in this game. Edey got a pick for the 3rd straight game. Woolen was great. Staling comes up with 2 plays. And Jackson Williams had another big play.
Yeah, and after this one, you're thinking, okay,
right.
I think he was untouched.
Jeffrey. No one got within the zip code of him to score a touchdown. At that point, again, it's 14 rip ball game, right? It usually would signal that in the playoffs at home. That was not the case.
Sometimes, though, and I've heard this, and a friend of mine told me, once you score that easy early.
So go to that point, because Jackson Williams said it after the game.
He said it too, right?
He said it after the game.
He thought it was over.
Yes.
They're going home.
Yes.
He thought it was over.
Right. How many others on the team thought that as well?
Exactly. But sometimes when you score too easy early in the game, you just don't have that. It's a tendency, natural tendency to say, "Oh, this game's over. Let's move on."
And there were multiple times for it to be over. If the offense could have gotten a first down, if the offense could have done anything, even get a field goal. This is the second Staling pick. That again, just all right. It's 21-14. Now they make this play. Okay.
Yeah, and those touchdowns gave them great field position too. It's not like they picked them off down by the goal line. I mean.
And the fact there was a stop they had there on 4th down. Here's the Shadimi Alfaro pick that put him down to the 4-yard line. That made it because Pettu scored in the next play. So it's 28-14. Certainly now in the 4th quarter thinking, okay, offense, get a couple first downs, and Illinois State's going to run out of time. They just won't have any time. And then they got this from Toby Anene and still couldn't clinch out the game.
Illinois State ran 91 plays.
Yeah.
And they ran 91 plays as a huddling offense. Not like it was
No.
quick ball like
No.
Montana did in 2015 when I think they ran 92. 91 plays on an offense
Or like,
that huddles.
like Incarnate Word had 95 or whatever a couple
Whatever it
years
was,
ago in the
yeah.
semifinal game, and they were, hey, we're going up and we're going to snap the ball. That was not what Illinois State. I'll give it. Spack said it in the press conference. He said it earlier in the week. If we have a chance, we're going to go. That's such a not Brock Spack thing to do, is go for 2, and there was no hesitation they were going to do that. At the
Absolutely
end of the game.
not. I mean, we were up in the press box where, they're going for 2.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt
Yep.
about it. You go for 2. You go for the win when you have a chance, especially on the road in a place like the Dome. Absolutely.
Just after this, obviously the motion was clear because the Bison seniors are done. I mean, that's Cole Payton's last game. Bryce Lance, last game. Logan Kopp, last game.
They never went to Lance after that.
No,
Was he
they
humming?
tried. I mean, they tried a couple of them, but they were never really were chances that they were going to make those.
No,
plays.
you remember like in the Montana State title game, he was getting those comeback routes all
Yep.
day because they have so much cushion on them.
Yep.
Never saw that. A little
Peyton didn't have any time to do it. That's, I guess,
even a
what-
7-yard
right?
out or a 7-yard curl.
I don't even know. But
I
did
don't
they
know.
have time to go 7 yards? That's the
yeah.
thing. I don't know if they had time for anything to develop down the field because Illinois State was constantly in Peyton's face.
So the offensive line, all underclassmen. And was this a product of a young team that finally got
Well, it's funny you say that because I had a message come in earlier in the show.
recruiting classes?
And this was direct result. Is it fair to say that NDSU's missed on some O-linemen that have been recruited? This isn't the only game the O-line has been a weakness, which I'm going back to UND
and
as
we were
well.
talking about the recruiting classes in 20,
21
and 22.
They
There
got
were
nothing
nothing
out of that.
Nothing.
They got nothing out of those classes.
Fraley is a transfer.
Right. Griffin Empey is a walk-on as part of the class of 24 or 23. He's
23.
He's a sophomore. Bo
Johnson's
Is
23.
23 is a redshirt junior, sophomore, sorry. And then you've got Tosted, who's a redshirt freshman. Babbitt started, and Mangan's a converted defensive lineman who never played offensive line in his life till he got here. So it's safe to say.
So maybe that caught up to him finally.
Yes, I do think so. I do. I think the fact we were talking about it, I know Polisic dismissed it to me and to you when we brought it up because he got snippy, I think is the best way to say it, when we asked him, and hey, you're still messing with the offensive line in Game 11. They never got a solid 5 that they were ready to go with.
It didn't seem like it, did it?
No.
it didn't seem like
I mean,
it.
by November, you want to say, okay, because I remember texting you, I'm on the field in Brookings. I'm like, hey, Babbitts is going to play tonight and play a lot. Like, wow, that's a big moment for I mean, they think highly of the young man, but he's a true freshman playing in the 9th game of the season in the biggest game of the year to that point.
There was things that got exposed against Illinois State.
Certainly.
That defensive line for Illinois
Great.
State just owned them.
Absolutely.
Owned 'em.
And that was physicality. I think that's what Polisic said after.
Bull rushing.
Correct.
Yeah, just strict
the
bull
Bison
rushing.
were out physical, and that's, again, nothing we've ever seen before in the postseason. That, to me, again, you want to start drawing conclusions on that. They had 3 first-team offensive linemen, all right? Bo was great this year. Empey and Fraley were really good. Just they were not good Saturday.
Nope.
They weren't. The fact that they have so many younger guys that were playing in big spots, and again, that was something the head coach addressed after
Never
the game.
saw like 3rd and 5 in the Bison offensive old. You could do the power game 2 plays.
Yep.
4th and 2. It felt 4th and 2 and he didn't go for it. 4th and 2 felt like 4th and 8.
Yep. Dom and Jeff, credit to Spack for out-coaching the Bison for the first time of any opponent this season, with maybe the exception of Eric Schmidt. Bison defense was great until they got gassed and didn't make a play when it mattered, and offense was clearly anemic. Dan Larson did not have his best game. He's at best mediocre. He's been relying all year on the talent of guys on offense and getting bailed out by the defense whenever the Bison had faced a team that actually can play D. If the players are being held to a higher standard, so must the staff that are making the calls.
I felt like the playbook just wasn't there
Yeah,
either.
it
It
shrunk.
felt like it just
Yep,
shrunk.
totally.
There was no jet sweeps. There was just
It's
just
very plain
yeah.
on that. Here's on Cole Payton. Why not get him out of the pocket to avoid losing the ball in a strip? Why not take a timeout to talk defense at the end zone? So Polisic said on the coaches show last night, on the one that Cole got stripped at the end, that maybe we should have run the ball there, which is easy to say that. Like, what are you doing?
roll him out, give him the option.
But again, they never presented Payton to run the ball at all, which goes to show then 2 things. To me, he's hurt, which clearly he left the game against St. Thomas 2 weeks ago, and his knee was iced up and with a pretty sizable limp, or just the most bizarre play calling because they never did that all season long. Was the quarterback run game was used?
Yeah, and one of the best running quarterbacks in the country.
That one is mystifying. That one I need more clarification on. This is another one I want to get to. We talked about in the pregame show. Dom, I have no sympathy for the Bison fans. By not showing up for Saturday's game, they took away a huge part of home field advantage. How many times have we seen crowd noise be a factor? I'm not saying it would have made a difference, but the arrogance of people who figured they would skip this game because it would be a blowout as a parent, those who assume they could just wait till next week's game paid the price for staying home.
But this game also spoke FBS to me, too, on
really?
The fan base, on interest.
Because on the other thing, they're tired of this and thinking they were
just not doing it anymore.
I will say this for the 10,000, whatever 400, they were loud.
Yeah,
I thought they
made
a difference. Illinois State had at least
3 or 4 false start penalties.
False starts in the game. I'm not going to hang it out. The Bison fans that were there were definitely noticeable. I will say to that point, we've certainly run through this before, that people say, hey, you know what, I'm not going the second round. I think the crowd would have been less this coming week had they won. That, we'll go over the semifinal game, and then we'll see you, as you mentioned, in Nashville. That certainly is the case. But I think, to your point, there's probably something of that too.
I mean, look at 10 national championships in the Division I era?
Yep.
And just 12, you're always 10-1, 11-1, 12-0. It's just to me, the fan, there's a fatigue there. And to me, it's 80% want to go FBS.
Yeah, I think.
And growing,
by
the way.
And I'm sure that people come out of the woodwork on this because the Bison lost on, you want to go to FBS? It's beyond one game losing here.
Right.
Dom and Jeff, all year they could never figure out the 5 best offensive linemen. In all the one-score games, Youngstown State, UND, in this playoff loss, the offense had the chance to close out the game and didn't get it done. The first 2 games, Code Green saved the day with a turnover to seal the game.
Yeah, Anthony against UND.
And then Anthony against Youngstown. He stripped the ball that the fumble recovered. Looking back, they really didn't get anything from the 2021 and 2022 class at O-line. They started a true freshman and a redshirt freshman on Saturday. Do they have a nasty O-lineman that plays with an edge in the middle like an Austin Kunert or an Austin Richard? That's yet to be determined, I would say, at this point. I think Griffin Empey is pretty darn nasty in there, and I'd say Empey's probably their best offensive lineman.
And I think you look at the recruiting class this year with Thieneman and Earl Brown.
Yep.
That's more the size that they're looking for. The 6'5" guy, 300 that can move. So I think they're getting better and getting back to the type of old lineman they want to recruit that can make a difference.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, though. Just the we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it enough that what they were rolling with because they were winning games. But again, we brought it up that they were still messing with the offensive line.
Yeah, but it was a prolific offense most of the year.
It was.
I mean,
it was. But for this game, it just completely vanished.
You had the number 1 quarterback in all of Division I football in PFF, which takes all these factors into account. But certainly completion percentage and yards per completion.
Let's do one more here.
Okay.
Dom and Jeff, I was at Saturday's Illinois State game. I wasn't understanding why they didn't run Cole more. As the game went on, Illinois State started selling out and ran to stop our running backs. At some point, I was waiting for Cole to keep the ball and take off around the end that at times were wide open as the Redbirds flow with the ball carrier. Cole had not run much in the past 3 weeks. I wonder why. Well, we're in the same boat there. Clearly, obviously, he got dinged out. And then to compound things, Kolpack, he gets hurt on the strip. So Nathan Hayes gets thrown in at the end of the game and has to try and save the day there with 50 seconds left.
Yeah, and it's still Eli Ochik's a good kicker.
Yep.
He's got range. So what did Tim figure? They had to get to the 36?
Right, that's about 50 yards there. Yeah, about 53. They would have a chance to win the game.
Still doable, certainly.
And frankly, I thought even when Hayes got in and zinged a couple passes, that's just something we didn't see when Peyton was in the game for some reason.
I'm upstairs in the press box cranking my story on a different outcome because that first story's got to be done at the buzzer.
Last one here. What happened to the QB run game since the Youngstown State game? What happened to using a fullback? This is a complete meltdown. Try Wildcat, 3 or 4 first downs at any time in the game, and they win by 2 touchdowns. Dan Larson could have told his line to block normal and run a screen pass Saturday if he wanted. They're sorely missing Randy Hedberg. I think that was something we talked about as well, between Jake Landry and Randy Hedberg both being gone. I don't know if that really showed in tight moments until maybe on Saturday. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what's going to happen in a game like this is everybody's going to come out of the woodwork and call for the offensive coordinator to be terminated and be let go. I mean, there's more to that. But, again, if the quarterback wasn't 100%, and that's something we just don't know the answer to, then that everything starts there. Because then what other reason is there for him to roll out and run with the ball? Right?
There is none.
Right. I can't think of anything else that would prevent that. All right, let's break. We come back. Now we'll talk with Kolpack on what's ahead because for the first time ever, the Bison are done playing in the first weekend of December in the Division I era, that is. Back on Hot Mic on WDAY Extra right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. You know, this says a lot about the fans and viewers of our show that they are super pumped to talk to you specifically. I had this happen at the basketball game on Saturday night. Hey, I can't wait for Hot Mic on Monday. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Here's an email right to what you were just talking about. Dom and Jeff, James Madison is in the playoffs. That could be the Bison. Maybe fans would show up then. Maybe. I mean, that's what you hope for. Seeing JMU get picked yesterday as Tulane made it in as well. You got two group of 5 schools make it into the college football playoff.
And it didn't take JMU that long.
3 years.
3 years.
Think about that.
I think NDSU would be competitive right now in the Mountain West.
After seeing Mountain West play this year, I would totally agree with that. Here's another one. What's the future hold for next year at quarterback with Nathan Hayes? Will there be a competition, or is there anyone to compete with him?
Well, he's QB1.
He is definitely the guy.
That has already been anointed.
But if you saw him play at all this year, you can understand that why.
But the interesting thing will be you need a good backup, obviously,
Yep.
and they're thinking about redshirting Preston Brown.
Yes. Yep.
So the confidence level in Trey Drake and Xander Smith is good enough.
So Trey will be a redshirt junior. It'll be his 4th year if he doesn't leave. And then obviously Xander's will be a redshirt sophomore, freshman next season on the team. So that's, again, going back, we're talking about offensive line. I don't know if that's something they're going to go maybe look in the portal because they did not bring, granted, they didn't bring a quarterback in, but that's maybe something they can get to. That's my next question. And I mentioned this in my on-air segment for the news on Saturday. With the season being done as early as it is, this is new territory. NDSU's always had a map to do what they want in the offseason. This is brand new. And now the Vultures, I have to think, are circling right now.
They are circling right now. And the problem with now the season being over, by the way, football never ends for us, but the season being over for the players is now they have more time to think.
They have time to go home. You know, with finals coming up, some that don't take them in person, they can get out of here, and that's when the football coaches lose their gourd, honestly, because they're not around them. And you heard Paulsek, I don't know if you asked the question at the postgame saying, we got to get with these guys, we got to talk to these guys. What he's saying there, folks, is we got to talk to our main 15 to say, hey, we want you here. We're going to do everything we can to keep you here.
And it is my belief, and I believe your belief, that the collective, the Green and Gold Fund, is north of $2 million, we believe.
It's doing,
if not well over $2 million.
The problem is for the teams that are out, I know Griffin Empey and Toby and Nene have standing 6-figure offers already. I mean, what are you going to do on that?
You're probably going to lose a couple.
Right?
You're probably going to lose a couple. But if you can just keep to a couple, I think you call that good.
Right. I mean, that's the challenge now. When you look at the guys who are making plays, and frankly, I don't think it was I think it was a calculated deal. I think we texted about this. Who was in the postgame presser? Jackson Williams.
All underclassmen.
Nathaniel Staling was in there, and who was my third? Donovan Woolen, right? Yep. Those are 3 heavyweights they got to keep on the roster. If I'm going to say off the top of my head, the 15 guys the Bison want to keep, those are 1, 2, and 3, right? At the top of the list, outside of the quarterback.
Certainly Donovan Woolen, certainly Nene.
Yes.
Just Jaquise Alexander. You could go up and down the line there.
Bo Johnson, Griffin Empey, keep going. Fraley, you know what I mean? Those are all the guys that they're going to.
And I would argue Reese Kessel, the way he showed out, although he wasn't a factor.
Was not a factor in the game. That's another thing.
They didn't target him.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I got another email about that on Kessel that he did play. And we saw that in the participation report wrong, but Kessel was there, was wide open, and never got thrown the football in the game on Saturday. Again, Reese caught a pass in every game but one this season. He wasn't a deal. But that's now the challenge as you look ahead of what the next because the portal officially opens the 2nd, runs to the 11th. But if you're, it doesn't matter now. You can declare. We see Sawyer Seidel announced last night, UND stud running back, that he's going in the portal. That doesn't matter. You don't have to wait till January 2, Jeffrey, to announce if you want to do this or not.
Who's Washington State can go after?
You know what?
Are they going to go back after Vegan?
Let me dovetail off of that. Jimmy Rogers is problem 1A for all the guys we just mentioned, because Rogers knows this area better than anybody. I'm going to need players. Well, I know exactly what the Bison have. Why don't I go get them? That's now a clear and present danger, to use the great Harrison Ford movie. That's right there sitting for the Bison, I would think, off that question.
Well, yes. And does he bring any Washington State guys with him? Do you just keep hopscotching
Absolutely.
schools?
Right. Like the Jackrabbit fans that are sitting there like, I can't believe you would do that. Of course.
Yeah.
This was the whole plan. This was the whole deal. So, yeah, to your answer your question, probably.
Do some go back to Brookings? No.
No.
They go to Iowa City.
That ship has sailed on that. Yep. So, on Washington State, I don't think so. I don't think it's Vigs. I think both parties have gone down that road and
But now they can say, "No, we'll wait for you."
Right, they could, and Brent may entertain that. But I'm
But now, after saying you agree to the extension,
right, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they're talking to Rick Neuheisel that he may be coming back.
Again, it's like Oregon State. I don't know how good of a job that is anymore. Washington State.
No, I agree. I'm with you on that.
I think I read yesterday where I think Jimmy Rogers is a little frustrated with the fan base with a lack of collective.
Yep. Well, he had to know what he's getting himself into there. But again, that was however long it was going. I don't think they thought Matt Campbell would leave this year. I thought maybe next year, but you got to go when the job is there. We were talking about that on the Polisic angle when that was up a couple weeks ago. Hey, you'd love to be here maybe 3 years, but if it's a chance to go in 2, you got to go and take it. Look at Bob Chesney was at JMU for 2 years. Now he's going to be coaching UCLA. You just got to go when you get the opportunity to do it. So I think to put a bow on this, and I think we're still kind of shaking our heads about it of how good this team was. That I had this email as well, and I'll throw this at you before we go. Would a regular season loss have served them well? Polisic talked about that during the end of the press conference on Saturday.
It's the Al McGuire theory. Yeah. Remember Al McGuire, the basketball analyst, when he was coaching Marquette? He goes, I didn't mind losing a game toward the end of the year because you get the attention of your players back.
Yeah. And
a loss gets their attention.
But you know what? And here's the thing. Scheduling is what it is. Let me bring this up to you. I thought about this in the shower. I have great epiphanies there. The last 2 games, Jeff, Northern Iowa and St. Thomas, they were not challenged in those games. They didn't play they didn't have to. Was that a thing?
Well, then Illinois State comes and goes, you know what? We're here to play.
Right.
We're a little more physical than those teams.
Was that a thing? Peyton was pulled after the first play of the second half against Northern Iowa. He didn't play in the second half, and obviously we know he got dinged up. But to me, I think there's an element of that. You can't control the schedule. I get it, but they were not challenged in the final 2 games of the season. Illinois State got dusted their final game of the regular season. You know what? They got blown out.
That's so bizarre about football. You're talking about Southern Illinois just killed them.
Yes.
And actually, Brock Spack said that. He goes, I don't even know who was that team.
Yeah.
I don't think he talked to the media. Is that what he alluded to after the SIU
he did
game?
not address he said he would not address the SIU game prior to the game with Southeastern Louisiana. So he was not going to talk about it, which ended up working out now. So how
about South Dakota? Whoever thought that the
I
Coyotes?
Talked about that. I'm going to get to that in my next segment here. After leaving here, no. After they lost by
now
$1 billion.
Now they won 7 of 8.
Right. And the fact of who they've beaten along that trip now. Now they got a date out in Missoula. Who's your pick now to make Nashville?
Of course, Montana State, and
I think Tarleton.
I got to go Tarleton.
It's either Tarleton or Illinois State. I think Illinois State can go and win.
I think they're going to go to Davis and win.
I do too.
Yep.
They could go to Tarleton and win, and then they would have won 4 games all on the road. Youngstown didn't even do that. Youngstown at least got a home game, 2 home games, in fact, when they made it to the championship game in 2016.
7-1 now away from home.
Right.
And the one loss is
Oklahoma.
Yep.
Which doesn't look too bad considering Oklahoma's in the college football playoff. Just unbelievable. Well, enjoy your weekends off now, my man.
No, it's Portal Watch season, baby. Yeah. We're on the clock watching it.
I think they're not the only one. I think coachings are going to be targeted as well. I think there's a couple of assistants that are going to have to be, that's the Bison lost a couple obviously last year with Randy Hedberg retiring and Nick Gazer moving on as well. That might be something brewing there too. Don't know, but wouldn't be surprised.
Well, the basketball teams are brewing.
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
They're doing all right. Great
All right.
stuff all
Good
year,
to see
bud.
you.
Thanks for coming by. There you see him every Monday. Jeff Kolpack, his appearances are brought to us by
Am I done
Northwestern
now?
Mutual.
Am I
No,
coming
I
the
got
rest
you
of-
back. No, we're back next Monday.
I thought you were firing me.
Not
there.
at all.
Okay.
Just done a great job during the year. All right, we break. We come back. We'll examine what we saw this weekend across the division, including Sawyer Seidel's name in the transfer portal at UND. That's coming up when we return.